Balloon Beats.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined today for this beautiful off-day stream by the man himself, Dan Rourke. How we doing
Beautiful
tonight,
because that means I'm here, bro. I'm very pumped to be here, man. I always love seeing your face, even though I see it essentially every day because we FaceTime nonstop. But I'm pumped to be here, bro.
People might assume things, but it's normal, trust me. But listen, shout out to everybody currently in the chat. Before we get into anything, let's take attendance/roll call. You guys know the deal. Shout out to D the She. We got Lori, Fritz, Jesus. We got Jacob, Yoelvis, Ryan, Big Brain Borg. Who else we got? We got QB, Amy, PTR, Lorraine, KG Baseball, Spades, Trey, not Trey Amberhe, but Trey Downing. We got Pat Soggy Chicken Bucket. You remember my Soggy Chicken Bucket, bro? So disappointing.
Well, yes, but you can't blame Yankee Stadium for that. If you're talking about the Astros game, that was because it was pouring down rain.
I'm not blaming you.
I mean, it sounded like you were about to like
no, it wasn't Yankee Stadium.
File a Yelp review. Yeah, I still ate mine, and you thought it was gross because I still ate mine.
No, but Dan, yours was worse than mine because like you left it out like in the
It wasn't ideal. It wasn't ideal.
I left it under the seat. It was still soaked. But listen, shout out to everybody. It is 9 p.m. on Monday, June 14th. We have an off day, and you know what an off day means, Dan? That means you come here. Okay, you know what else that means? We can't be heartbroken by the Yankees because as of late, they've been nothing but heartbreak. And you were at the game on yesterday, right?
Yesterday, yeah, unfortunately.
How was it?
Well, I mean, I won't make this too long, but it got off to a rough start. I didn't tell you this because I had to get up early, right? Like I was planning on leaving by like 8 o'clock. And when I go to sleep, I always play something on my phone. Like I'll watch like a movie, right? So I had my alarm set and I was playing, like, I think I was watching Star Wars or something like that. I didn't plug my phone in. So the movie, me watching that, destroyed my battery. So my alarm, I didn't wake up to it. I ended up waking like 2.5 hours late, rushed to the stadium. I got there by like the top of the second inning, typical me, Pat, right?
No, yeah, typical Dan, yeah.
But, it was brutal. I mean, I'm not going to lie. We left by like the 8th inning. And if it was at Yankee Stadium, I would have stayed the whole time. But like, bro, when you're surrounded by obnoxious Phillies fans, like, it's not.
It's a nice
ideal to be at a 7-0. Oh, it's gorgeous, bro.
Yeah,
it's right up there with Camden Yards for me. Like in terms of like overall, like how nice the stadium is. Citizens Bank Park is nice as hell, and it's a very nicely like shaped ballpark. As weird as it sounds, like it's.
No, yeah, and I know what you mean. Nice. I know what you mean. But like, I guess kind of going based off of that, right? Just based on the Yankees' performance lately. Last time we talked, I think the Yankees were still struggling. But then we were kind of looking at that Minnesota series as kind of like a way for the Yankees to revive themselves. And it looked like that Minnesota series was like the beginning of change for the Yankees up until the final game of the set with the Chapman heartbreaker. I think it seems like with these Yankees, they face one hurdle and then they just completely collapse, right? Because that Chapman blown save is something that was kind of huge for the season because they could have either looked at it and kind of just like brushed it off and moved on to the Philly series with like heart. However, I think they kind of went the opposite way and they kind of walked into the Philly series looking lifeless. And while Saturday they did make a comeback, they weren't able to pull it off. So I think that the Minnesota series and taking 2 out of 3 from them is kind of meaningless at this point now.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the positive and negative way you could look at least that series. I mean, there's nothing positive to say really besides the comeback of the Phillies series. But like with that final game in Minnesota, the way I looked at it optimistically was that everything went right. You know, I mean, you get the ball to Aroldis Chapman, especially this year in 2021. Yeah. You figure the game is over. Like the offense looked good. Stanton was heating up, which I think we should get into Giancarlo Stanton a little bit tonight too. But the way I looked at it afterwards was I wasn't actually that heated after that loss because I was thinking like, you know, we saw a lot of good things. They played some pretty clean baseball for the most part in Minnesota. It's just, you know, every once in a while, Chapman is going to blow a save, and that sucks. But, you know, at this point in the season, the way we're playing, like, we can't really just be, like, looking at the positive signs of things. Like, we need wins. And you're right. Like, that final game, like, that really was – it's kind of like what you said, bro. Like, the Yankees are like a balloon. It takes one little needle just to pop them, and they're, like, totally deflated, you know. And that Philadelphia series, like, you know, I mean, it's kind of basically taking what you said and expanding on it. You know? But, like, if the Yankees say, you know, took both games against Philly, like then you're kind of ignoring that final game in Minnesota, but they didn't. And you can kind of just point back to that final game in Minnesota and just look like that's where it all started. Yeah. You know, but hey, let's say, let me be Mr. Positive here for a second. And this also is kind of a negative, right? I think the last time I came on, we were talking about Giancarlo Stanton. And I was saying like at some point he's going to get hot. And as we saw, the real hot stretch the Yankees had this year, Giancarlo Stanton essentially carried them, right? Well, what started to happen in Minnesota? Giancarlo Stanton got hot, right? And in terms of like the offense, like they played well enough to essentially sweep that series, right? And if Stan is going to hit that well, like I'm feeling pretty good, you know, if he hits the way he hit in Minnesota, because, you know, screw these National League ballparks. We're going to have a DH, I think, for the next at least 3 weeks. I don't think we play an NL team for the next 3 weeks, I believe. Yeah. I'm not positive on that. But if Stan can get hot, the offense is hopefully going to be fine, right? But that leads into the negative aspect of it, that like the Yankees couldn't play Giancarlo Stanton this weekend. Yeah. Like, how bad does that suck, bro? Like that sucks.
It's really bad.
They had a bad Rougned Odor third yesterday.
It's terrible, and that's why we talked about this last time as far as like putting Stanton in the outfield, especially because. I mean, this whole season, I've kind of been mentioning, what do the Yankees do when they get to the World Series, right? Assuming that they were going to get there. Right now, like the odds are looking a little bit lower as the days go by.
A little bit lower, bro. A little bit lower,
just
right?
Just a tad. But I mean, like, if we kind of still imagine that situation, let's say the Yankees do get ridiculously hot, right? Just sweep every team in the postseason, make the World Series. You need Giancarlo Stanton in the lineup. There's no way you're keeping him out of the lineup. So you're telling me his first outfield start is going to be in the World Series? Like, you can't do that. So also, I think you kind of look at the whole DH situation, right? I would love Miguel Andujar to be the Yankees DH. I think that would be the ideal spot for him. So if you could rotate Judge and Stanton and Frazier and Gardner and Andujar all in the outfield, you have no excuse for these guys to be getting injured because they have so many avenues to kind of take playing time off of them, right?
Yeah. No, and that's
clearly that's not the case. Clearly,
one of the many downsides of Stanton being like a full-time DH is that they can't use it as like a rotating rest day. You know, I mean, like Judge could get a day way more often than he does with Stanton being the full-time DH. Same with, like, you can get Andujar in there. You can play both Frazier and Andujar at the same time. But like come World Series, which, like you said, it's a long way away. Stanton, he's going to have to play the outfield, and I'm positive the Yankees will play him in the outfield. Yeah. And I would have Andujar DH. And if say we're looking like we're going to be, getting a postseason spot come September, then you just give Stanton a start or two, like the last week of the season, give him some time out there, play him like 5 innings, and then take him out for defensive replacement. You got to give him some time in the outfield. That's if we're going to make the postseason. If not, it's really for nothing. But
which is crazy. Dan, it's crazy that June 14th, we're kind of being like, we might not even make the playoffs.
I know.
And it's not crazy. Like a pessimistic
even I'm willing to admit
anymore.
That. No, even I'm saying like it is looking like, I don't want to say like it's looking like bleak in a way. I guess it is, but like
it's trending in that direction.
Yeah, no, exactly, 100%. I mean, it's the way it's trending right now. Technically, is that we're going to be like 10 games under 500 the way they're playing, but there's 100 games left, a little less than 100 games left. I feel like it's like every time I come on, bro, it's gonna be like somebody can make a compilation of me being like, "There's 100 games left," and next week's like, there's 90 games left. The next week, there's 80 games left, guys.
Guys, don't worry. There's 10 games left, and there's only 10 games back.
I'm not sure if I've said this to you yet, but the way the Yankees are playing, how bad they're playing, if they can at least, don't fall below 500. The way I see it is, at some point they're gonna get hot. Like they're gonna have just give me a 5 or 6 game win streak, and bro. Even if they just get lucky and win 5 games in a row, that can totally change the way we're feeling about the season. One good week from us and one bad week from Boston, bro, it's a totally different conversation, and that's true. Whether or not that's going to happen is one thing, but I'm saying, like, don't like for the people out there that are wondering, like, is it still worth watching the Yankees? Like, are they done? Are they totally finished? No, not at all. There's still a lot of baseball to be played, and I feel like even the most pessimistic person can't deny that. Like, there's a lot of baseball left.
I disagree with that answer to that question, though, simply because if someone asks, like, are the Yankees worth watching right now? Bro, the answer is no. Like, as of now, I tell people
from an
all the
entertainment
time.
perspective, maybe not.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, bro, I tell people all the time, like, if you usually dedicate like 3 hours of your day to kind of sit down and watch the Yankees and kind of do nothing else, don't do that anymore. Literally, if you have like something else you could be doing and have the game on in the background, do not dedicate like 3 hours of your day anymore if you have better things to be doing with your life. It's as simple as that, bro. You might disagree with me, but like it's getting to the point where these games are becoming unwatchable. Yesterday's game was unwatchable.
Oh, yeah. Dude, imagine being there.
No,
like, I'm with you.
Right?
No, I'm with you, bro. Like, if you're a casual fan, like, I don't blame anybody for not wanting to take 3 hours out of the day and waste it on the 2021 Yankees. It's just like, in terms of, like, is it worth it that, like, they're going to make the playoffs? Or, like, do you have a chance to make the playoffs? They still very much don't have a chance. Like, they absolutely have a chance.
There's always a chance.
Even calling, like, a chance is dumb. Like, no, it's like there's a lot of baseball to be played. You know, if they play to their ability, which I know I feel like I say every time I come on here, they play to their ability, like, offensively, they're going to be, I think, just fine. The pitching is actually what's starting to worry me a little bit because besides yesterday, offensively, we've actually looked pretty all right over the last week. You know, I guess you can thank Minnesota for that. But even against Boston, it wasn't like atrocious, right? The pitching, I forget what it was. I think like over like the last 10 games or so, the starting pitching's averaging like an ERA over 6. So things are kind of returning to the norm a little bit now with how well the starting pitching was in the beginning of the year where they kind of carried us to now. Like if the offense is going to be kind of clicking, hopefully the pitching's got to, you know, at least pitch competently because, I mean, outside of Garrett Cole, Jordan Montgomery, and then, you know, Domingo Germán, I'm not worried about, even though he didn't pitch well yesterday. Like, bro, like we're giving Mike King starts. You know, I don't even have that much against Mike King, but it's like.
I don't hate Mike King at all.
I don't hate him, bro, but like, listen, like, especially with the way Tyone's pitching, like, give me one more legitimate starter. Even if the Yankees, like, bro, go find me like even if he's like a 4 ERA guy from a bad team that can give us maybe 5-6 innings, keep us in the game. Like, I'll take that over Mike King. No offense to Mike King, who I think is perfectly fine suited at, like, he can be like a Luis Sessa type role, like when Sessa, like before Sessa this year and like last year, but like when Sessa would come in, like they're down 5 runs, like a total mop-up guy. I'm cool with Mike King being that.
That's not what they acquire. Oh, I thought you were talking about Tyone being that.
No. I'm saying especially with Tyone being this bad, because I don't think Tyone's leaving the rotation anytime soon, at least until Corey comes back or Sevy comes back. Yeah. So I'm saying, like, in the meantime, bro, like, just try to get a starter that has like a 4 ERA. I don't care, but it can give us innings, keep us in the game, like a competitive starter.
They won't. Yeah, but listen, right. Before we get deeper into the Yankees pitching, shout out to Ruben Cruz with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Ruben. You're the man. He says Stan not allowed to play the field is driving me nuts, and these idiot lineup configurations are driving me nuts. I can't watch them anymore. But bro, like, Dan, this is exactly what I'm saying. If someone is like genuinely frustrated with this team to the point where it's like it's getting to the point where they consider the team unwatchable for their mental and physical health, bro, and I understand, especially when you kind of check the Yankees Twitter and you see a lineup with Rougned Odor batting third.
I
get how people can be sickened.
Bro, I was on the Parkway when that happened, bro. I highly consider just going like dead. Just kidding.
Okay, let's not.
I'm playing, but dude, let me just talk about Odor for a split second. He seems like a great guy. He really does. I'm sure he's fun to get, watch a football game with, drink a couple brewskis, whatever. Bro, not only should he not be batting third, I don't know if you're with me on this. Start Tyler Wade over Odor.
Oh my God, I say that all the time, Dan.
Bat him ninth. Have him play second base until Voit comes back. Which, hey, if we're trying to be optimistic, Voigt's coming back in. I think they said his rehab assignment is going to take about a week. He's starting, I think, tomorrow, I believe. Voigt's rehab assignment
yesterday.
Oh, did he? Oh,
yeah.
Word. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, word. So, hey, if all goes well, knock on wood, Voigt's back next week. That's a big boost if he plays like Luke Voit. So by then,
I agree.
Let's just do a little positional lineup here. Gary's a catcher who's hit well lately. First base, you have Voit. Second base, DJ, who also over the last 2-3 games has looked a little bit more like DJ. Shortstop Glaber, who's played decent over the last month. Gio, who needs to pick it up, playing third base. He needs to pick it up offensively. He actually has not been good for the last month or so. Nobody, I feel like, has noticed that Gio has fallen off a little bit. Have you noticed that? I don't blame you if you haven't.
Only it's kind because of he hasn't been that bad, though.
Well, no, because Gio doesn't. He's not one of those guys like Stanton or Judge. Like when they're bad, they look really, really bad. Yeah. Gio, he floats under the radar when he's bad, but he has been bad over the last month. I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying.
I do want to pull up his numbers from the last month, though, because I feel like he has not been good, but he hasn't been awful. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, maybe compared to the rest of the Yankees hitter, he's been great. Who knows? But left field and Duhar, he's played well. Center field, we need to go get somebody. I don't care what you say. I do think the Yankees are going to go and get somebody in center. I still do think they're going to get some sort of outfielder. Right field, Judge, DH Stanton. Bro, come on. Are you feeling all right about that once Voit comes back? Like, that should be good.
Stanton? I mean, obviously, Stanton's going to be the DH, but it's like...
Wait, well, I'm just saying. I mean, obviously, all those guys besides... That's all set in stone. I'm just saying, like, giving.
Oh no, okay. Yeah. I thought you were referring to like me thinking that Stan's gonna be playing the outfield.
No. I'm saying like when you hear like those names in that lineup, like that.
No, I guess it's good. Dan. On paper, sure, but as we've seen so far this season, on paper doesn't translate to actual on the field performance. But
yes, I understand. But let me just say this: when Stanton and Judge are both in the lineup and hitting the ball well, we are good. And I think we might be about to see that, Now, here's another bad thing about Stanton not being able to play in Philly. Hopefully that all of a sudden doesn't turn him cold, him not playing these past 2 days, which you know how streaky Stanton is.
Which is tough, bro. He's had off, 5 days now?
Well,
4 days?
2 days and 2 days. Oh, well, I guess 3 days.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I forgot we had off day Friday. Yeah, you're right. Okay, but let's just say Stanton, if he takes a game or two of being bad in Toronto, at some point – he's going to get hot again. When Judge and Stanton are both hot, bro, our offense is good. The pitching has to get better than it's been. Things are trending upward.
True. Listen, we have a lot of donos to hit on while we kind of went on our whole rant about the Yankees lineup construction. But shout out to Lori C with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Lori. She says dynamic duo, Pat and Dan. Damn, we are
best hair in the business, he said.
Best hair in I kind of agree.
Pretty nice hair. We have some pretty nice hair.
Listen. Dan, if we're going to be honest, I can't name 2 like content creators with better hair than us.
I can't
I'm
either.
Just saying.
At least in the baseball community.
No. But
and we're probably the only baseball content creators that bring up hair in the community, but
it's kind of true. No, it's kind of true. But Lori says, any truth to the talk of Boone losing the clubhouse? Did you see Boone's interview yesterday?
With the Hoke question? I like that. I like that.
Did you?
I did.
It felt a little bit forced to me, kind of like the 2019 like Savages in the Box thing. I get like everyone loved that. But
I did not think the Savages in the Box was forced at all. That was good. That was prime
no. It
Aaron
felt
Boone.
Forced to me. It felt forced to me simply because like when I see Boone doing stuff like that, it just feels like a little bit rehearsed to me simply because like that's not the natural Aaron Boone, right? It feels like a little bit forced in the sense of I could picture Aaron Boone like standing in the shower, like practicing that, just getting ready for this moment.
I mean, I guess you're definitely right. It's not like the natural Aaron Boone, but I think you could also spin it to this where like Boone, yeah, he's a very calm guy, he's a player's coach, but enough could push him over the edge, and maybe a question like that. And I did feel bad that it was a question for Brian Hoke, who's like so good. Like we all love Brian Hoke. But like, that would kind of piss me off a little bit too. And like, if you see like Boone's facial, I'm not sure if you just heard the audio, but if you actually watch like the video, like his facial expression, he did look kind of pissed, bro. I mean, like, I don't blame him for feeling that way.
Do you blame Hoke for the question? Because I don't. It's a very reasonable question.
No. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, I think it was a good question and a good response. And I don't think Boone was like trying to be like disrespectful in a way. Maybe it comes off that way when he was like, "Get the hell out of here" with that. But I think it was a good question, good response, and it actually gets me a little bit excited because that whole interview, bro, like, now if you think it's forced, different story, but Boone looked to me like that was a different Aaron Boone. He looked pretty PO'd, so hey.
Yeah, but where was this all season? Like, it's
not
like
understandable. Like, where has this been,
Yeah.
And like, as for, what was it, Lori's question, like, has Boone lost the clubhouse? That's kind of been the question of the season, But hey, maybe, bro, if I'm Boone, if my guys in the clubhouse, bro, are really like, they like me, like they are a fan of me, Aaron Boone, bro. I'm saying like, yo, you guys will start playing better. I'm about to be out of a job. Like, you want me gone? And maybe that'll do something to him,
I know.
Like, maybe Boone is getting like fired up in the clubhouse. Because I mean, if he's not at this rate, bro, especially after the way they played yesterday. And let's just bring this up, bro, because we talked about Odor before. How the hell is this stuff still happening with Odor? That base running mistake.
No, but it's the whole team.
No, but I don't mean to single out Odor, but I'm saying the fact that it's still happening. And Odor, bro, I'm sorry. Let me single it out a little bit here. Like, you've been a major leaguer for 5-6 years, bro. Like, in Little League, not to advance on a ball, hit the shortstop if you're on second base. If you're on second base, bro, and a ball's to the left side, you don't advance. And I know, but it's so irritating about it, bro. Same like when Gary Sanchez did it. And hey, give Gary some props here. Gary has not made really any base running mistakes since that bad one in Detroit in
I
Detroit.
talk about this every day, not even base running. Gary Sanchez deserves more credit for the season that he's putting together.
100%. At least over the last month or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like people keep bringing it up, like somebody like even like the Gary haters when they're complimenting him, like they do it in a diss way. Like I heard somebody like talk about like, yeah, Gary's had a good like 4 or 5 games. Bro, he's had a good like last like month, honestly. I'm pretty sure his weighted runs created plus over the last month, I think is like 115. For a catcher, bro, that's really, really good. And this just goes all into, the optimism pot, we'll call it. All right. Gary Sanchez is hitting better. Giancarlo Stanton was hitting better. Bro, all in all, the offense. Miguel Andujar, bro. I mean, I don't want to go through the whole thing again and name every name on the team. Yeah. Bro, the offense, I actually am starting to think is going to be better. And I'm not sure if you saw that stat. I forget who put it out, but I don't have the exact numbers. But you know how bad MLB hitters have been as a whole this year? Well, since MLB started, calling out the whole sticky stuff thing, the OPS has gone up league-wide by, I think, like 32 points. So with that included in my argument, we might see the Yankees start to hit a little bit more. So, hey,
here's my thing.
Maybe it's the Yankees pitching that we should be worried about.
I agree. No, I agree. I think it's a little bit of both, though. And before we hit on one of these next donos, I want to say this. While, like, there are, like, single pieces of the Yankees lineup that we obviously should be optimistic about, like, obviously, I'm not – do I even want to say the name? You're going to go on a rant. Aaron Judge is putting together a great season. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But, I mean, like, you mentioned some of these guys, Miguel Andujar, Gary Sanchez, Giancarlo Stanton, but it doesn't seem like they're functioning well as a unit. Individually, sure.
I can't
but it seems like as a unit, I don't know. It just seems like they're not putting it together.
And that's why it's just, like, so tough because, like when you bring up before, like, when I was saying, like, how good does this lineup look with Voit back? And you brought up, on paper. And, bro, like, that's so true. I think that's why the lineup always looks so good on paper because individually, bro, like, if you 1 through 9, like, at least with Voit back, very talented players that we have. It's just like as a team, as a unit, like you said, they don't seem to function right. And that's the reason, the sole reason for that is because they're not hitting home runs, And I think like over the last week, they've increased their home run. Like they're kind of starting to hit home runs, right? Or is that just skew because of Stan? I don't know. But if they can start hitting home runs again, which might be helped by pitchers not using sticky stuff anymore, and it's getting warmer out, the Yankees might be all right offensively.
I agree.
If they don't and I think we always hit on this, bro. If they don't start hitting home runs, they're screwed because they're not going to just change their philosophy of hitting. At least not
that's how they're built. That's how they're built.
Yeah.
But let's touch on some of these donos. Appreciate all the donos. We will get to all of them eventually. Trust me. But Ruben with $2 dono. Appreciate you, Ruben. I says Gittins should be starting. Why call him up then? I'm gonna say one thing. Gittins has struggled so far since coming up, but he doesn't look that bad at the plate. And I think if you're gonna continue starting a guy like Rougned Odor in the 3-hole, in the absence of Luke Voit and kind of playing DJ at first base, why is Gittins even up? Like, it doesn't really make sense at that point.
Yeah, and man, I kind of feel bad for him too because, like, he hasn't gotten like consistent playing time, and he's basically screwed in a way. I mean, he'll probably play like 2 or 3 games over the next week, but I mean, unless Voit has a setback, like, he's going down. Unless they DFA Odor, but there's no need to have 2 right-handed hitting first basemen. So I mean, his time is unfortunately up. He had some tough luck, bro, with that foul ball homer, which
and his at-bats haven't looked bad.
No, they haven't looked too bad, and some people have jumped him saying like he's terrible. They don't understand the kind of guy Gittins is. He's like the 3 true outcome. He's a strikeout, walk, or a home run, and I do think, I mean, I'm not sure like over how good he'd be in a major league season, but he's the type of guy I could see one day, hitting 250, maybe an on base of 350 and hit you 30 bombs, and he seems like he plays competent defense at first base, but, tough luck for him. I mean, he's probably going to have to go to another organization to, get a crack at a full-time gig, but
it's the case.
He seems like a good player. It's just I feel like even if he like say he tore the cover off the ball, I think he's going down next week when
probably
comes back.
Oh yeah, probably so. But listen, shout out to Yankees Highlights with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Yankees Highlights. They said you guys are awesome with the emoji with the sunglasses.
Real quick, Pat, did you tweet out a link to this? Because I'm gonna retweet it.
No.
Bad person. Go on.
It's literally just on the YouTube. You just do that. But no, he says we're awesome, bro.
I appreciate that, Yankees Highlights.
Make my day. I think they like the Pat and Dan combo. I don't know. But listen, also shout out to Yankees. Shout out to Yankees Highlights with another $2 dono. Appreciate you so much.
And he didn't even say anything. That's how you know he loves you, bro.
That's how you know it's real. Anything. Loves us. Loves the duo.
Loves you with a hint of me, a sprinkle of me.
Little bit strange, but moving on. Pat Stoggy Chicken Bucket with the $5 dono says, Dan, this one's specifically for you. Do you think we
I
get
feel
Starling
special.
Marte for center field and have an all-righty lineup? Would you be okay with that?
I'll answer in just a second. I didn't realize that guy's username was literally Pat Soggy.
No,
Chicken
yeah.
Bucket.
Look at the profile picture.
That's amazing. Dan, do you think we'll get? I mean, it's tough to say. I think we will get him. I can't really answer that because it all depends on. Because I think Marte, he makes, I believe, $6 million this year, and I think we have right around $5 million to play with luxury tax wise. So two things have to happen. One, we gotta mess around with the payroll a little bit, either dump some salary. Maybe we can get rid of Justin Wilson or Darren O'Day, something like that. One of the guys that makes like $1 million or $2 million a year, that would work. Or Hal Steinberg's gonna have to say screw it and bypass the luxury tax threshold,
Which won't happen, by the way.
You're probably right. It probably won't happen. And as for having an all-righty lineup, shout out to Ryan Garcia. He put out a good stat today. The Yankees this year against right-handed hitters, I think they have like a 122 weighted runs created plus, or against right-handed pitchers. I mean, long story short, they've actually been better against right-handed pitchers than lefties this year, apparently, according to Ryan Garcia. So to take an upgrade and just a player that's better overall and just ignore the fact that he's not left-handed, which, yes, we do kind of need. If we just upgrade in the center field position, period, I think having an all-righty lineup with wait, did he say Starling Marte, right?
Starling Marte, yeah.
Okay, word. An all-righty lineup with Starling Marte in it is better than a lineup with the left-handed Brett Gardner in it. You know what I'm saying? So I would 100%.
Oh, I know what you're
Starling
saying.
Marte. Yeah, I know you know what I'm saying. But I'd prefer Ketel Marte. And let me backtrack a little bit. I was giving the salary for Ketel Marte before. I don't know what Starling Marte makes, but I imagine it's probably in like the $7 to $8 million range because I believe he's a free agent after the end of this year, and he's been a pretty good player.
Let me pull up Starling Marte's contract. It looks like he's making. You're talking about this year, right?
Yeah, because I think he's a free agent after this year.
He's making $12.5 million this year.
12.5. Okay, so that's honestly I can't imagine that happening. I mean,
yeah,
because that we'd have to manipulate the salary a lot, like the salary tax a lot, or just go right past it, which like Pat said, I don't see us doing. I would much rather have Ketel Marte. We'd have to give more up because oh my god, there's a bug.
Is that a
in my
fly?
room, bro.
I see it flying through your camera,
dude.
It looks big, no?
Dude, it looks freaking scary, bro. I don't. The thing looking at a stinger. Go on.
Are you good? If you get stung though, like that's content. That's content.
You're a horrible friend.
No, I'm just
be funny.
saying.
That'd be a good Twitter clip.
It would be funny.
Coffee late at night. I'm gonna kill this son. Can you just like carry the show for a second?
No, yeah, I got you. So listen. Shout out to Ruben Cruz, the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Ruben. He says either commit to Dan. I
can't find it. This thing's like fucking.
Moving on. Ruben Cruz with the $5 dono says either commit to Judge in center or get one of the Martes or Brian Reynolds. Boone will see Stan get hot and sit him.
We talked about Brian Reynolds on here a couple weeks ago, didn't we? I think. Didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. And I
think we did.
And I wouldn't mind him. I'm not sure how he's doing right now, but I wouldn't mind him. And I'm pretty sure. I think he's got years of control, and I think he only makes like $2 to $3 million. I'm pretty sure. I mean, clearly don't quote me on the financial of thing, but that would work out. I really do want Ketel Marte, bro. Bad.
Same. He's also having an awesome season.
Dude, an unbelievable year. And, dude, he's everything that we need. He's a switch hitter. I'm pretty sure he's relatively quick, and I think he plays good defense, too. And he has years of control. So we'd have to give up a little bit. I've been on the record saying I'd be cool giving up both Devi and Clark for him. I'm not sure how much value those two even hold together anymore, And then, hell, maybe they would be willing to take Clint Frazier as a third piece to top it all off. I want Ketel Marte bad.
It's very intriguing, right? Because we kind of look at the Yankees outfield situation right now, and we kind of mentioned previously, Brett Gardner's the Yankees' current everyday center fielder.
That can't continue. Cannot continue. Unless they sell at the deadline, then whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you're trying to win and trying to make the playoffs this year, you cannot have Brett Gardner as your everyday center fielder.
You can't, and that's why I think you kind of look at the trade market right now, right? And yes, I would love a Ketel Marte, but I think it might be easier for the Yankees to kind of land a corner outfielder. Only because there's so much more of them out there, and the Diamondbacks are going to be asking for a king's ransom for Ketel Marte. So
I'll think give him anything but Jason, bro. I'll give him anything. Jason, that's how I say his name.
Really? No, but
actually you're not supposed to say Jason. Apparently, you're supposed to
really
Jace. Yeah, no, apparently not, because that's I guess where the two S's come into play. That's what somebody told me. So ever since I heard that, I'll go Jason. It sounds cooler, anyways.
But no, kind of like what I was saying. I love Aaron Judge in center field, bro. I think that he's proven that he could kind of play there. I think he's a better option out there over Brett Gardner. And then if you could land, bro, you know who my dream acquisition is? Jesse
Can I
Winker.
guess? Jesse.
Bro,
Oh, sure.
could you imagine Jesse
he's
Winker
good.
in that
I don't know what
hole?
his.
You got it? Kill it. Yo, Dan, you got it. You got it?
Thank you.
Attaboy, Dan.
What's it called? Jesse Winker. He's having like a career year, isn't he? I don't know what his control situation is or like the financials of it. Are the Reds like? Do you think they would like? Is he on the trade market? 'Cause I feel like if he has years of control left, I mean, let me just look up real quick what his situation is. Because I mean, if I feel like if he has years of control left, why would the Reds want to get rid of him? You know, and it would probably take I feel like dude, with the year Jesse Winker's having, bro, if he has a lot of control left, it may take even more to get him than could tell Marte, or maybe it's equivalent. I don't know.
He's not a free agent until 2024.
You have his so he's making looks like $3 million this year. Not until 2024. Okay, so I mean, him and Ketel Marte are kind of in the same boat, I guess. Is he a lefty, Winker?
Jesse Winker? Yeah. Okay. He's a lefty outfielder.
Yeah, I mean, before that, I don't know who would take more to get. You know,
I think it would probably take more for Winker, but I think it'd be worth it.
With the year he's having, it looks like it. Yeah. But I mean, the financial side of it would work a little bit better if he's only making $3 million, because that we wouldn't have to, do anything with in terms of like the roster and getting rid of guys that are making like $1 to $2 million this year. Because like I said, we have $5 million to play with. How do I get back on the screen? Yeah, we have like $5 million to play with. Jesse Winker's making like $3 million, so I mean, we could just get him straight up. Wouldn't have to do anything.
I agree. But listen, also shout out to Yankees House with another $4 dono. Appreciate you. Another dono with no message. Dude, that's just real. That's real.
Yeah, that's a dog right there, bro. We appreciate you.
But let's take a look at another guy on the Yankees. Dan, we can't have you on without talking about him. I kind of want to address yesterday, the whole back spasm thing with Aaron Judge. Really? How concerned are you 1 through 10? Not
in the slightest. Like I didn't
like -5.
No, I was more concerned about like the idiots on Twitter. I went on an unfollow spree yesterday because and no offense to you if you were overreacting on Twitter, bro. Back spasms, bro. That literally is like,
you wouldn't unfollow me, Dan.
Oh, I would never unfollow you. I just think no offense if I'm calling you an idiot because I'm grouping everybody in the same boat.
No, I didn't.
Bro, back spasms, that can literally be Judge. He was watching TV the night before, fell asleep on the couch, didn't sleep in his bed, woke up with a kinky back. Something as simple as that. He played 21 straight games before Sunday. He leads the Yankees in games played. And what do we know that Boone does quite often with Aaron Judge? He feels the need to justify giving him a day off, and he just says he's dealing with something. So that very well is possible. Bro, and there's been points in the season like that first injury scare, when he had the COVID shot at the beginning of the season, that had me a little bit nervous, not going to lie. And I was open about it.
Okay, no, bro. You were not. You were not nervous at the time.
No. Nervous. Listen, Danny Boy doesn't get nervous out here, but as nervous as I could get without being actually nervous, I was.
All right, fair.
It could be relativity comparison to like the other stuff Judge dealt with this year. That one I was a little more concerned about because it was the beginning of the year, like kind of fresh out the season. But like, bro, the back spasms, like I could not be less nervous. Don't worry about the back spasms. He's playing tomorrow, 100%.
However, I'm going to say this as far as like Aaron Judge and the Yankees having off days go. If the Yankees do not put out their A lineup for every single game of this Blue Jays series, their season's over. It's as simple as that.
It's unfortunate because they're not. You want to know why? Who's pitching on Wednesday? Garrett Cole and Kyle Higashioka is going to be behind the plate. And let me just say, I'm kind of with Gary Sanchez resurgence bandwagon on this.
Same.
At some point, bro, Garrett Cole, stop being I'm trying to think of a non-curse word. Stop being a wuss.
You think it's on Cole?
Well, no. I don't mean this in like an offensive way, bro. Garrett Cole, how good of a pitcher are you? You're a fantastic pitcher. You're the second best pitcher in baseball. I'm sure you can pitch to Gary Sanchez. And guess what? You pitch to Gary Sanchez, the chances of you getting a win are much, much higher. Want to know why? Because right now, over the last month, he's been one of the better offensive catchers in baseball. Start Gary Sanchez on the days Garrett Cole pitches. Now, say come postseason time, and you really got to win a decisive game, and you think it's going to come down to pitching, sure, start Higgy. But, bro, when we need offense, like this team needs offense, Gary Sanchez should not only be starting, he should be batting third or fifth. Especially the other day, they should have batted Gary third, by the way. When Odor was batting third, start Gary batting third.
Dan, I think I have to disagree with you as far as the Cole thing goes. I think I have to disagree. Only because, listen, you look at Garrett Cole and that's your number one guy, right? number one pitcher almost in the league besides Jacob deGrom, obviously. But, I mean, you look at him, and you don't want to have to tell him to suck it up, right? You know who you tell to suck it up? Giancarlo Stanton. You put him in the field, bro. You're going to be like, listen, Giancarlo, you're going to stay healthy whether you like it or not, so Gary Sanchez could DH. If the ace of your franchise is more comfortable pitching than Kyle Higashioka, you have to make sure that DH spot is free so Gary Sanchez can still make his way in the lineup. This has nothing to do with Kyle Higashioka, nothing to do with Garrett Cole. If your ace has a personal catcher, you rock with that. It's up to the franchise.
Couple things for me.
Sure that the other guy could still play.
I respect your opinion. There's a couple things that I'm gonna say about this. One, I don't think like it's Stan. I don't think Stanton's necessarily opposed to it. I think if he was opposed to it, he would be playing. But I think it's the Yankees are the ones that really want him to not play the outfield. I think they're the ones that are handling him with bubble wrap. And I think Stanton, I guess, is okay with it, which I don't like to hear. But and as for if Stanton did play left field and Gary was DHing, still because Cole needs to pitch a Higashioka, that still is not as good of a lineup because that takes Miguel Andujar, one of our hottest bats, out of the lineup, and then Higgy's still in there, which, bro, the gig's out on Higgy. He's not that great of a hitter. I'm sure he can hold his own over a full season. He's hitting, I think, like 150 over his last month and a half. And people want to criticize Gary Sanchez's offense over the first month. Well, guess what? Higgy's offense over the last month has been worse than Gary's the first month. So I think Cole, bro, and like I'm not even saying it has to be a full-time thing, but like, are we essentially, let's just say Gary, like, who's kind of proving himself to be, a worthy catcher for the Yankees. Let's just say Gary's the Yankees catcher for the next 5-6 years. Are you telling me not once are we going to let Cole pitch? I actually disagree. I don't see why
Dan,
you wouldn't. I mean,
okay, are we going to get into this right now? I can guarantee you 5 years from now,
I'm not
Gary
making
Sanchez
a
will not
prediction.
be starting catcher for the Yankees.
I mean, I was just kind of saying in a general sense, but I'm not making a prediction. But I'm not saying. But are you saying he's not worthy of being so? I mean,
I'm not saying that he's not worthy. It's just super.
Are you saying it?
Even looking 2 years down the road, there's no way he's the Yankees starting catcher.
Oh, I disagree with that. No, I think he's a Yankee. So you're saying the Yankees aren't going to sign him?
Once he becomes a free agent, he's gone.
Oh,
he's gone for sure.
Pat, who do you want? I think,
bro, Austin Wells, Anthony Siegler. You have young guys coming up that can replace him.
But listen, I mean, that's a big if. If they pan out, sure, there you have an argument, but that's a long ways away.
You don't see like Cano and Gary.
Huh? Cano?
Yeah.
What makes you group Robinson Cano and Gary Sanchez together?
Oh, so the organizational treatment of them is not the same at all. Bro, how many times was Robinson Cano called lazy by the Yankees fan base? It's the same exact thing with Gary, bro.
And there's a lot more of a case to call Cano lazy.
You don't think that Gary Sanchez wants to go somewhere where he's going to hit 30 home runs a season, bat 200, and be genuinely appreciated by the fan base and not have to deal with the media calling him lazy and fat and saying that Kyle Higashioka should be starting over him? Bro, I'm telling you, this is not like a guarantee, but I'm saying I'm predicting once Gary becomes a free agent, he's on the first flight out of New York.
I got two things to say about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I do.
I don't think anybody wants to succeed as a Yankee more than Gary Sanchez does. I think he wants to succeed incredibly bad, almost to his disadvantage because he puts a lot of pressure on himself. But point being, Gary Sanchez has been the Yankees' second or third best hitter, the third best hitter behind Judge and Stanton so far this season.
I love Gary, bro.
Yeah, no, I know. And I know what you're kind of saying. Like you're predicting the Yankees are going to not re-sign him. If I'm the Yankees, I'm saying it's smart to re-sign him. At this rate, on this date, June 14th, 2021, 2 years in the future, I'm saying they should re-sign Gary Sanchez with the way he's playing right now. His defense, I'm sorry, has hardly been an issue this season. He's been competent behind the plate. And, bro, his OPS is like right around 750. His weighted runs created plus is like a little bit over 100. Bro, when you get league average offense out of a catcher with the chance for Gary to get much better, because when Gary is confident, which we're starting to see, he can destroy the ball at the plate. You know that. No, Gary is only going to get even better this season, and I think there's a high probability he's going to finish the season he's going to go on one of those Gary tears. He's going to finish the season 20 to 25 homers. He's going to have a little bit better than league average offense, and with having decent defense behind the plate, which he has had this year, and decent framing like he's had this year, I think the Yankees would be foolish not to re-sign Gary Sanchez unless there's a better option out there, which I don't think anybody can really bring up one. I mean.
I get it. No, I completely get it. But at the same time,
listen, let me say one more thing on it, bro. Gary Sanchez, like, kind of crap in the bed over the last couple years and reducing his value could almost come in the Yankees' favor. You want to know why? Bro, if this was a couple years ago, say like or after Gary's 2017 season, bro, we're talking man, we may have to sign the largest contract ever given to a catcher, to Gary Sanchez.
Fair, yeah.
Now, bro, in a couple of years, we might be able to get Gary for 5 years, $45 million, bro. And with the Gary, oh, it's possible, bro.
No, it's not possible. No, Dan, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Gary Sanchez is not signing for 5 years, $45 million.
Well,
there's no way.
45 to 60 mil, bro. Whatever it is.
No. If Gary Sanchez becomes a free agent at the end of this season, we're probably talking like 580 minimum.
No.
Yes, I'm almost.
No, hey. If Gary goes back to like 2017, Gary, sure.
No, right now, Gary Sanchez, we're still talking about one of the better offensive catchers in the game.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, Pat. That's why the Yankees should re-sign him. Thank you.
I never said that they shouldn't. I'm saying that they aren't.
But why, I don't understand why you're saying that, though, because the Yankees like Gary Sanchez more than the fan base likes him. So, I mean, if we're saying they should do it, the Yankees have given Gary every shot in the world. They like Gary Sanchez, clearly. They're obsessed with him, borderline, all right? They're afraid. It's like an ex. They're afraid to get rid of him, right?
Dan.
But, hey, let me just say the contract thing. Let's say the contract thing. I was going off James McCann's deal. I think Gary could end up getting 5 years, 50 mil. 5 years, like somebody said, 5 years, 65. I don't see that. What is McCann's contract? I think he got like 4 years. Maybe
he's going to get more than James McCann. He's going to.
Well, I don't know about that because catchers value defense.
I don't know years wise. I don't know if a team's going to be willing to commit to Gary Sanchez like for that many years though.
Pat, I got to disagree with you here. James McCann got 40 mil, so he makes four years.
For how many years?
That's 10 mil a year. 4 years. I do think Gary's going to get right around 10 mil, and I think that's fine. I'm no problem giving him 10 mil a year.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. I guess we'll see.
I don't think he's getting 85 mil or 5 years. But anyways, just to wrap this little point up, I think Gary Sanchez, I think the Yankees would be foolish at the way he's playing right now to not at least enter negotiations with him. Now, say he wants outlandish money, that would be foolish. And I do think they will go into negotiations with him. Gary wants to succeed in New York. That's the one thing I want you to know. Gary definitely wants to succeed in New York. He's obsessed with his success, and nobody can tell because Gary, I don't know what it is, bro, and I'm not saying this is what you think, and I'm the last person to ever make any sort of accusation like this, bro. I guarantee, bro, half the criticism that comes from this fan base is like racially stemmed in a way, bro. And people don't even realize it, bro. My dad's that exact same way, and I don't think he realizes it, bro.
No, it's the language barrier. That's what it is.
I think that's what it is, bro. People think Gary doesn't know how to speak English, which is not true, bro. People think that he's lazy just because he chooses to just speak in a language he's more comfortable with, bro. And like I said, I don't think it's an intentional thing. I don't think people realize they have like a racial segregation towards Gary Sanchez. But like, there's so many suspicious things that go on with the way people act towards Gary Sanchez that I just don't understand why it's not applied to other players who have been worse. Gary Sanchez has been better than DJ LeMahieu this season, but do we hear anything about DJ LeMahieu this year? No, you don't hear scrap about him except from the educated people. But what does Gary Sanchez get, bro? Loads of hate for absolutely no reason when he's been a league average offensive catcher that's played solid defense this year.
I'll tell you what, to wrap it up, Dan. I'll tell you this. As far as Gary Sanchez goes, I love him.
Look at that guy who said this. Yankee fan for life. Dan, time to move on. Also takes forever to move on.
Yeah, and then Dan starts getting into like a racially motivated conversation. I'm like, all right, Dan.
Pat, you know I'm the last person to ever say anything like that. So you know I mean it when I would never accuse anybody of being racist. And I'm not accusing you or anybody in particular of being racist. I don't think anybody intentionally does it. I just think it's like subconsciously a thing. I don't know why. Because Gary, the way looks like he's like lazy, bro, with the way he looks. Why is Siri popping up?
No, it's not that he looks lazy. It's not that
no, it's
lazy.
everything. It's the baggy jersey, bro. It's just like
no. I'll tell you what it
is. Like I don't get it, but it's like I could forgive somebody for maybe thinking that on the surface. But if you're Yankees fans, after a year of watching him play, like just drop it, bro. It's an old tired act. It's BS. They remember one play. They remember one play from that Tampa Bay series where he hurt his groin. And they've been calling him lazy ever since. They were calling him lazy, bro, since 2016 when he was putting up historic offensive numbers just because he wears a baggy jersey and he uses interpreters for his interviews.
Dan, I know. But the thing is, like, fans don't look too deep into it. They look at those casual plays like that, and they just assume Gary's lazy.
That's why you should listen to smart people like us who do look into it and aren't idiots like the people you're describing.
Fair. And then at the same time, that's why when I kind of went back to the Cano situation, the same thing happened with Cano, right? Same thing happens with Manny Machado. Fans look at like these small, like outlier, lazy performances, I guess you want to say, and then they characterize the player into that. But kind of wrapping up this Gary Sanchez conversation.
I have one more point to make after, but go on.
You're joking, right?
No, okay, let me just say because somebody actually brings up a good point. I want to clarify what I'm saying. Luke says, I disagree, Dan. People have a problem with the fact that he batted under 200 for 2 years. Listen, Gary Sanchez is very much so subject to criticism. You can criticize that he hasn't hit well. You can criticize that his defense has been bad, very bad at times. That's what you should criticize. Do not call him lazy. Every Yankee that's been in the clubhouse with Gary Sanchez that has made an opinion about Gary Sanchez public has said that he works harder than everybody. Everybody. And
I agree.
Like who are these people, especially the Facebook people, to tell us that Gary Sanchez doesn't work hard? How do you know he doesn't work hard?
Dan, who are you arguing with right now? I agree with you.
No. I'm saying let me get this clear, bro, for like any possible future workings that we have together on a show. When I say you, I mean in the general sense. I'm not talking about you in particular most of the time.
No, I know.
But just to wrap all of this up, bro, if Gary Sanchez is lazy because of his poor offensive performance, then DJ LeMahieu is lazy because he's been worse. There.
Very good. Very good. See, I was going to say the same thing, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
But look at LA Yankee King's donation. Shout out to LA Yankee King with the $2 dono. Appreciate you. LA Yankee King.
We hate your ex-girlfriend, LA Yankee King. We hope she dies.
Bozo. All right, Dan, relax, bro. He says Yankees selling at the deadline is best for Yanks.
Can I say anything on the show? I can't curse. I can't speak on the things. I can't get too loud.
Wait for another show for that. But listen, what do you think? Are they going to sell at the deadline or are they going to buy?
I mean, listen, here's the big thing. Who are we selling? Now, there's the bullpen guys, I guess you could sell because, and I got to an argument with Kyle the other day about it. It's a good discussion. If the Yankees, they shouldn't sell. I could get behind retooling, and this is like, I'm talking, bro, a couple weeks from now, say we, I don't know, we're like under 500. Like, it's like kind of like obvious we're not making the playoffs, right? I'm cool with retooling. Trade away Chapman, fine. Trade away Britton, fine. And then maybe O'Day's healthy. You can get rid of him too, whatever.
Britton, no.
Maybe even Chad Green. I don't know. Actually, I wouldn't trade away Chad Green. The way I see it is anybody who, like, I don't know, I guess with like multiple years of control, don't get rid of, or anybody you see as being a part of this team moving forward. Like, I wouldn't trade Gio. I wouldn't trade Luke Voit unless you're getting something that would help you win, say, next year or the year after that.
Yeah.
What the Yankees should do if they were to sell Chapman, Britton, sure, get rid of them. You're not going to get a prospect haul like you did in 2016 for Chapman and Miller. Like, that's just non-existent anymore in the industry. It's actually been said by GMs that's never happening again because that was crazy what we got at the time. For Chapman,
bro, that was like the peak
that's
time
not going to
trade
happen.
relievers.
Why don't I hear you, Pat?
You don't hear me? You should.
Pat?
Dan?
Did you mute me?
No. Chat, you guys hear me, right?
I can hear what you're saying.
Chat, say yes if you hear me.
Can I leave and come back?
Just disconnect your AirPods.
Yo, why don't I hear you?
I don't know. They hear me.
Okay, hold on.
In the meantime, chat, let's talk me and you. Apparently, Dan's having some audio issues. Great stream so far. Great stream. Yeah, I know you guys could hear both of us, but Dan couldn't hear me, so he's just gonna go refresh things. But pulling up this comment here, Majestical Chicken says Patrick M.F. Hennessy and Dan Judge Rourke. Just listen real quick. Bring up Ambergy, please, and thank you. Who saw the video today? Me and Brian posted about Trey Ambergy. Call up Trey Ambergy, please. That's all I want. Let's welcome Dan back to the show. How we doing?
Do you hear me now, bro?
Dan, everyone has heard you this whole time.
All right. Well, I didn't hear you, okay, but now I hear you. I don't know what the hell happened. I was pretty convinced that you muted me, and in the meantime, I saw somebody say, "Thank God Dan is not our GM." Well, let me just tell you, bro. If Dan was your GM, you would have had 30 World Series titles by now. Just saying.
Bro, could you imagine if we ran the organization?
I mean,
imagine it.
We would probably have about $40 million a year committed to Aaron Judge, but besides that, we'd be doing quite all right.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't be that stupid.
No, I'm kidding. I mean, Judge actually. Let's talk about. We want to talk about a Judge extension real quick, like for real. Like that'd be kind of fun.
Sure, go for it.
I think
I'll let you start things off. This is your guy.
Yeah. So, and let's just go with let's just assume that the Yankees are going to sign him after his final year. Like they're not going to extend him after this year or whatever. I think. Well, hey, let's say the Yankees win the World Series this year. I'll go off that. Let's just say the Yankees win the World Series. Judge,
which I'm still predicting, by the way.
Okay, good. I appreciate that. Judge will get named captain once they win a World Series, whenever that is, whether it's this year or next. I believe they'll sign him to a 7-year, $215 million deal, which I believe is the same that Anthony Rendon got, similar to like Clayton Kershaw's deal too. That would be $30 million a year, and that would take him up until age 38, like around age 38. Or if you want to say attack him with some high AAV and lesser years, maybe we could go with a $35 million over, what would that be over 5? That would be 175 over 5, which would be $35 million a year. What if we met in the middle at $35 million a year over 6? That would be 210. 210 over 6 years for Aaron Judge. Get him through age 36.
I'm going to counter you.
Okay.
What if we do this? What if we do 3 years, $35 million each year, which kind of adds up to what?
See, I think the only way you could
105. So 3
I think the
105.
only way. No, so I think overall Judge will be looking at like the total dollars, So I don't think 105 definitely wouldn't get it done. I think you at least, assuming he doesn't have a bad year next year and he plays the way he's playing now, I think it's gonna take at least $200 million, which if you wanted to maybe like, I feel like the lowest you could go is 5 years, but then if you're doing $200 million over 5, what the hell is that?
I wouldn't go more than 5 though. I really wouldn't.
Yeah. I don't know though, because I think you do got to touch 200 mil. Because somebody, I'm telling you, bro, if Judge, as long as he stays healthy, obviously, somebody will give him 200 million. Just
probably
the name value alone. And I think, bro, the Yankees would be foolish not to sign Aaron Judge, and they know that. I'm not just saying how good of a player he is, bro, but from a marketing standpoint, like that would be worse than not signing Derek Jeter.
It would be. It definitely would be. But I mean,
just
I think at the
amount
same
of jerseys
time,
he sells alone,
But Dan, at the same time, you kind of look at this franchise, and I don't know if it all depends on what happens these next 2 seasons, right? I think that's why it's kind of early to talk about this. But just hypothetically, let's say he stays healthy the next 2 years and puts up Aaron Judge type numbers, which he likely will. But I genuinely think that the Yankees have no choice but to re-sign him for any amount of money that he wants. I think it's as simple as that. I think the max they'll probably go for him is 6 years. I can't see them going more than 6 years for Judge.
I don't think you're crazy for saying that. Maybe I could see them maybe doing 35 for 6. Because if they did 35 for 6, that gets you over 200 that would be 210 over 6. Because I think, like, you know how free agents are, bro. We know Judge is humble and all that, but like Judge will have a number in mind and he'll start with over 2. Like, I don't think Judge will even negotiate anything below 2. So maybe 35 a year will get you 6 years, 210. Not too crazy.
Yeah. No,
but
we kind of
like you said, a lot of time to go.
Yeah. No.
Stay healthy and
But like, kind of looking at the current construction of this team, Dan, let's make predictions for the rest of the season. How about that? What do we think? Are the Yankees going to win the AL East? Yes or no?
No.
I completely agree with you. I don't think this team's winning the American League East. And it's so crazy to say because, bro, imagine I would have told you that a month ago. You'd have been like, Pat, you're probably the worst.
Let alone telling us freaking like 3 months ago before the season, bro. I mean, remember when we were the favorites? We were like the runaway favorites to come out of the AL. Like, the only thing we were thinking, like, maybe the White Sox will threaten us. But now listen, it's not like, is the AL East race over? No. Like, crazier things have happened, Now, the next question I assume you're going to ask me is, are they making the playoffs?
No, I actually wasn't. What I was going to tell you was, I mean, sure. Well, I'll go with my statement after this next question. Do you think the Yankees are going to make the playoffs? Yes or no?
Keep in mind, this is coming from an optimistic Yankees fan, and I would feel no point to be excited about this season if I were to say no, and they do have the talent to do so. I'm saying yes, the Yankees are making the playoffs this year.
Okay. And that's fair. But however, if someone says no, I won't disagree with them, especially at this point.
No, you can't fight them. Yeah, you can't get mad at anybody for saying that the Yankees are making the playoffs this year. Now, if somebody were to say like they're going to finish 10 games under, then I'd say you're crazy. Because my entire thing I've said, not just in today's show or the past few shows I've been on, they simply have too much talent to be this bad. And when I say this bad, I mean 13 bad, which is what they've been over the last 18. They can't be this bad. I feel like at worst, they might be a 500 club. I think there's no shot we don't win at least 81 games this year, which if we are going to win 81 games, that's where the people who want us to sell have very much so have an argument. If you think the Yankees should sell and you think they're not going to make the playoffs, sure. But if you're going to sell, retool, don't blow it up. Blowing it up with trading Aaron Judge. They're not doing that.
Listen, Dan, I'm going to say this. Based on those 2 questions, we look at the Yankees now, and like I said, it's June 14th. We're asking these questions, and we don't really have definitive answers, which is kind of telling as far as the current construction of the franchise goes. So now you kind of have to look at the team and what needs to change in order for that to happen. And I think we talked about this last time, right? Personally, I don't think an acquisition of a certain player will get that job done. I think you got to go up high, and you got to either fire a Boone, fire a Timms, and just send a shockwave to the current players in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Because like we mentioned previously, Dan, we're looking at a roster on paper that could easily be in first place right now. You know that. But they have not played up to potential, and that's what's killed them so far. We're not looking at a 2019 team, which should have been playing like this year's team. A 2019 team that had Mike Ford, Mike Talkman, Thairo
Estrada. Whoa.
Tyler Wade. Bro, you're looking at those guys, and they completely overachieved. And now you're looking at a team that's underachieving. So rather than, we want Ketel Marte. We love Ketel Marte. But I don't think he's turning around the Yankee season as much as an Aaron Boone firing would or a Marcus Timms firing would.
Sure. I think I kind of get you're saying, like, it might take more of like an organizational like philosophy change than like an actual like acquisition would change the season. But like one thing, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I said I'm not against firing Aaron Boone. I would be for firing Marcus Timms. But they're two very different things. I mean, firing your hitting coach and firing your manager, like, one shakes things up way more than the other.
Yeah.
You know, like I still think both. Like if you fire Marcus Timms, like that does send a message that their play isn't acceptable. You fire Aaron Boone, like, and this is why I wouldn't be opposed to it, because it shows the sense of urgency and it gets the new voice in the room that I think we both agree might be needed. At least I say it might be needed. I think you're saying it is needed, you know. But the whole thing, like I said before, you can't fire your manager unless you have a replacement already like ready to go. So whether that's Carlos Mendoza or I was watching the K show today. He thinks if the Yankees fire Boone, it's just going to be Carlos Mendoza would take over, which I don't know too much about him to be honest. But everything I do know about him, like, and the fact that I don't know too much about him, kind of makes me not too enthusiastic about the idea. I would bring in, if you're going to fire Boone, bring in like an old time manager and give lineup control to the front office. But Buck Showalter may not be about that, so I don't know. We'll have to see. It's going to be. I don't say it's a tough decision, but what makes it a tough decision is because you got to replace him. You know, it's not just you fire Boone and then you have, you know, some mystic angel come out from the skies. You know, well of course
we could be that angel.
I'm more of a GM type, but yeah,
I could be a solid manager.
I'm too, you know, contrary to popular belief, I'm too nice to be a manager. I feel like I don't have it in me to like I don't think I could like roast players that, like, especially me being like a guy. This is really getting into the theory here, but like I've never played baseball before. Like I couldn't be like, yo, Ruben Odor.
Wait, you haven't?
Well, no, I mean like MLB, obviously. Obviously, I played high school and stuff. But like I could totally be a GM, because then I just have my assistant GM do all the hard stuff, like tell people they're cutting and stuff. I have not cursed once in this podcast, I don't think.
I think that's a lie, but moving on. Shout out to Ali Yanking with the $2 dono. Appreciate you. He says bold prediction: DJ LeMahieu gets traded by July 31st.
Not happening.
And you know what, Dan? I'll tell you this. I appreciate LA Yankee King because he does not like DJ LeMahieu, and he sticks with that.
He
from
sticks
the
to
offseason. He's like, Yankees shouldn't sign DJ LeMahieu, and here he is at the trade deadline. Now they got to trade him.
Bro, with LA Yankee King, like you never think he doesn't believe what he says. Like he is 100%. Like what he says, he thinks, and I respect and appreciate that. LeMahieu though is not getting traded, even if the Yankees wanted to trade him. Which at this point, if they are going to sell, I'm sure they would probably want to get rid of that contract. That's the thing; they're not getting rid of that contract. If they were, they'd have to eat some money, which basically defeats the purpose of getting rid of him. You know, which he doesn't make like crazy money. You know, $15 million a year, but like for 6 years, bro, like we're going to be in that for a little while, and unless like he picks it back up. You know, maybe, but if he picks it back up, we're probably looking at a much better result of the season.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
I don't think
really
it comes, no
bro,
shot.
The whole season, bro, very well could come down to, I'd say, honestly, two things, bro. Stanton's health and DJ LeMahieu turning things around.
I agree. However, there is one more thing. There's one more topic that I want to touch on before we wrap things up. And it's kind of relating to the Yankees pitching staff, right? It's involving the sticky situation. Do we think that Garrett Cole even Aroldis Chapman at this point, maybe even Domingo Romano.
Listen,
what do you mean?
Let me say one really quick thing about it, bro. And I'm not like saying you're dumb for thinking it, but like what's gonna happen with this whole thing, bro, is like now any pitcher, not just saying like the Yankees, any pitcher, bro. Say Jacob deGrom goes and pitches next week and he gets shelled. Automatically, it's gonna be the discussion.
Just getting shelled, it's the spin rate.
No. I know, but so many things can affect spin rate, bro. Like air density can affect spin rate. Every little factor can go into spin rate, bro.
It's just ironic.
The second somebody's spin rate is down or they get shelled or the velocity is down, bro, suspicions are going to be raised, which I guess is understandable, but it's kind of dumb in a way. Like Aroldis Chapman, bro.
It's dumb. It's not dumb, Dan.
Aroldis.
You're telling me that we had no reason to be concerned about Garrett Cole against Minnesota. Really?
Whoa. No, not Garrett Cole. We know Garrett Cole uses sticky stuff.
Oh,
I'm talking about Aroldis Chapman.
Oh, no, I thought you were referring to all the Yankees pitchers.
No, Garrett Cole is like literally the prime example, which is fine to use because we know that there's evidence of him using sticky stuff. I don't care about him using sticky stuff, but we do know, like, once he went to Houston, his spin rates increased dramatically. He also became a much better pitcher. So yeah, that's very fine to be concerned about. Aroldis Chapman, bro, Aroldis Chapman has been filthy since the day he broke into the league. And it's not that Garrett Cole hasn't. He just hasn't been this filthy. Aroldis Chapman, he's totally fine. As for Garrett Cole,
is a different Chapman though. What we saw in the beginning of the season was a different Chapman. Sure,
but dude, if Chapman's using sticky stuff, he wasn't introduced to it in freaking 2021. This stuff has been around for years. A couple years now. He probably been using it ever since Cole. At least would have been using it since last year, since Cole got around.
When he was probably using it since he was so bad in 2017, and they had to like move him out of the closer spot, and then all of a sudden he became good again.
Maybe, I guess, but. Saying. 2016, bro, he was filthy, So I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting here. But what were you even? I didn't know what were you asking me a question?
My point was, I mean, after Garrett Cole's start against Minnesota, where he pitched pretty well, right? He only gave up those 2 solo shots. He rebounded pretty nicely. Good. Yeah, no, it wasn't a spectacular Garrett Cole performance. But he was good.
No. I'll tell you, it wasn't a spectacular.
No, but Dan, I didn't make my point yet.
No, I know, but let me just say this because I heard somebody else say that Garrett Cole wasn't that good against Minnesota. Bro, it's just because he went 6 innings. There's such a that's like the line of demarcation, bro. 6 to 7 innings is the line of demarcation between like an elite start and a solid start. If Cole went 7 innings, which he very well could have gone, he had like 94 pitches. I believe at that time the Yankees were up pretty substantially. And with Garrett Cole only throwing 80 innings last year, you don't want to push him when you don't have to. If Cole went 7 innings, which he very well could have, we're looking at the start totally different. Cole pitched pretty damn well, which I know that's what you're saying, but I'm telling everybody, Cole pitched pretty damn well against Minnesota last time out. Just saying.
Dan, we know that. That's why I'm trying to make my point here.
All right, go on.
For the 3rd time. So Garrett Cole did pitch well against Minnesota, like after the whole sticky stuff situation came out, had that brutal start previously. So now, like, do we think that we're in the clear as far as like Cole struggles without the sticky substance? Because obviously, like, seeing him perform well against Minnesota was a good sign to see. But I think I'd still like to see a little bit more of a sample size until we kind of assume that we're in the clear as far as that goes.
For sure,
for other pitchers in the Yankees staff as well. And I do look at a guy like Domingo Germán, because do we think that it's just ironic that his worst start of the season comes after this whole situation?
Are you questioning Domingo Germán's morals, Pat?
No, we went through this last week.
No, you put me in a bad spot. Anyways, we're not out of the woods at all with Cole just yet. I would say, I mean, like, I think this will last all year, and rightfully so. And I do think, I mean, you figure Cole would take a step back. Like what I always think about with steroids, bro. Like, if it didn't give him an advantage, why are you using it? If this stuff didn't give Cole an advantage, why would he be using it? Now, people keep saying like, oh, Cole can revert back to Pittsburgh Pirates, Garrett Cole. Let's not forget. Cole, one of his best years was with the Pirates, where he won 19 games with like a 2.6 ERA. I still think Cole will be a very good pitcher, an ace worthy of $326 million. But maybe instead of being like a 1.9 ERA pitcher, maybe he's a 2.5 ERA pitcher,
which is still fine.
3. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So I think like there has to be some sort of a regression. Like there would have to be, right? Or else, like, why would he be using this stuff and risk? Especially at this rate, getting like a suspension or something. There has to be some benefit that he's getting from it. So him not using it anymore, going to be a little bit of a regression, but I still think he'll be really good. I would be more worried about the other guys on the staff. We don't know who's using it. That's what's tough. But hey, I mean, they're saying 85 to 90% of guys are using it, which that's why I was so pissed about Donaldson calling out Cole personally. Bro. It's like, dude, we know how many guys are using it. Like, at the very least, bring up Trevor Bauer, and bro, I don't know if we talked about this. I'm not sure if when I came on was after the Minnesota series or not.
It wasn't.
Cole took care of Donaldson, bro. That was nice.
Oh, he did. That was awesome.
And the stare from Cole, bro. Cole has like these subtle things that make him so freaking badass, bro. And that was one of them. And one of the other things too, this is totally off topic, but remember last year when the Rays, I think they were like, I don't know if they were chirping at Garrett Cole. It was in game 5, and Cole loaded the bases in the first inning, and then he struck out 2 batters to get out of it. After that final strikeout, bro, like he screamed and stared in the Rays dugout. I love him, Cole. I love him. I really do. I mean, how can you not? Not so family fun vision said 2.5 ERA. What a loser, worst pitcher in baseball. That's how people will react, bro. Like if you regress a little bit, it's like instead of being like a 7-inning like 1-run pitcher, like he'll be like a 7-inning 2-run pitcher. Like, oh my god, he's so bad. Like, no, that's still really good.
No, I know, and that's why, like, I'm honestly at the end of the day, like, I'm not too concerned about Garrett Cole. Obviously, like I said, you want to see a little bit more sample size, but until I go kind of off the deep end, I'm like, Garrett Cole's not the same pitcher without it. I'm gonna chill and kind of wait a few starts. Bro, he's still a dog regardless. Still one of the most beautiful men in New York. I'd give Garrett Cole a big kiss on the cheek.
Did you see what somebody said about me? I guess they just got here. It's it's bat flip guy.
Not so family fun vision. There you go.
Yeah, we're not getting into
Let's
this.
not get into bat flips today.
Yeah, I don't want to fight today.
Dan, with that being said, do you have anything else you want to hit on before we wrap things up?
I wish I had some really important news to tease, but I guess I don't.
No, yeah.
Pat, let me just say this, bro. I would love to work with you together in the future. I love coming on the show.
It would be an honor,
fun.
Honestly.
Something
it'd be a great time. I think the chat would be down for it too.
I've seen some comments that say they like us together.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool if we, I'll leave it at
that. With that being said, yeah, we will see you guys later on. I will see you tomorrow for the Yankees pregame. Game starts at 7:00 tomorrow. Pregame starts at 6. Dan, what's so funny, bro?
Comments.
Exactly. But with that being said, pregame starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. We're going live. Check out the links in the description. Follow us on Newsbreak, posting exclusive content on there. Join the Discord. There we go. Unhingedclothing.shop. Buy some merch. Appreciate you all. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. We'll see you tomorrow for the pregame at 6 p.m. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Peace.